And welcome back to Ozarks Live. There are a lot of unknowns when it comes to COVID-19, but luckily we're here with Ryan Murphy from Ryan E. Murphy Law Firm. Talk about what legal actions that you might have at your disposal when it comes to this pandemic. Good to talk to you today, Ryan. How are you doing?
Good morning, Tom. We're doing fine. Like so many people, I'm sitting here in my home. So we're adjusting to our current circumstances.
Very good. Now, you know, one thing that we see out there right now are our frontline fighters, the healthcare workers. Is there anything out there that you want to, I guess, information or recommendations you might want to give to healthcare workers who are on the front lines of the COVID-19 pandemic, and if they find themselves either with a workers' comp kind of claim or something like that?
Well, one thing that I've noticed, and I'm sure most people in our community have noticed, is how much information is out there right now and how much inaccurate information is out there right now. Mm-hmm. And as I was absorbing and also living through this experience, I recognized that my area of expertise, which is workers' compensation law, might very well be applicable to certain individuals that were to contract this virus while in the course and scope of their employment. And so Springfield, Missouri has a tremendously large medical community with two very large hospitals here in town. And they're going to be on the front lines of treating these people. And obviously, if they were to become infected with this virus, if they were to get this COVID-19 as they were trying to treat the members of our community, I looked up and confirmed, went through the laws very, very, very precisely with this exact question in mind, and determined that they are in fact entitled to receive Missouri workers' compensation benefits.
Well, now, okay, we'll put it into that scenario. A healthcare worker contracts COVID-19 at work. What is there? What do they need to do?
Well, first off, they need to contact us. Not everyone that gets COVID-19 is going to be symptomatic, but the first measure of defense is they need to be quarantined for 14 days. Well, if an individual is not able to work for 14 days, that's 2 entire weeks of lost income. Mm-hmm. Well, Missouri Benefits affords what we call temporary total disability benefits for any period of time when you're unable to work due to a work-related injury or illness. And so this would fall squarely within that example, and the person would receive temporary total disability benefits in that period of time that they're unable to work while they're in this 14-day quarantine, even if they never develop another symptom due to their positive test results.
Is this also something that, a person should go through the proper channels? Yes, see an attorney, but talk to your HR people, talk to your immediate supervisor about something like this. I just want to know how to, workers can make sure that their workers' comp rights are not kind of taken from them or just sort of disappear.
Well, first things first, take care of your own health. Yep. Take care of the health of your family. Once you've got that established, then we can start dealing with protecting this individual financially, protecting them legally, so that not only do they not suffer the horrible consequences of getting ill and the uncertainty with that, but then compound that, toss on top the incredible financial burden that can come from contracting something like this and being unable to work because of it.
All right, Ryan, if people do want more information, would like to speak to you about their health care rights, if they are a health care provider, how can they get in touch? How can they get that information?
They can go to my website and reach out to us via email. They can contact our office. Right now, to be socially responsible, we're not doing person-to-person meetings in the office, but we can have a phone consultation. We can have a consultation like we're doing right now over the internet, a video conference. We can get their questions answered, And then once the social distancing restrictions are out of place, then we can meet personally and have shake hands and have a face-to-face meeting. I believe we will get back to normal eventually. But for right now is the time to start protecting their rights legally, and they can give me a call and get the information they need.
All right, very good. Ryan Murphy with Ryan E. Murphy Law Firm. Thanks for being with us today and giving us some great, useful information. Take care of yourself, Ryan.
You too, Tom. Thank you.
We'll be right back.